from the year 1978 in the Boston Globe. Think you have problems? Can't hold a candle to this. My wife and I can't keep the secret any longer. We've decided to come out of the closet and tell the world about our perverse passion. For years, we've kept the addiction hidden from even our closest friends. From all outward appearances, we were just normal adults, dedicated to home and family. The public saw us as people who paid their bills and attended church every Sunday, a couple whose major vice was a glass of wine before dinner. Here's the sort of parents we were. Our kids voted us Father and Mother of the Year 6 straight seasons until the year we refused to let our son's pet goat sleep in the living room. But this is an enlightened, some would say promiscuous, age. 4-letter words dominate a movie about Little League baseball. Newspaper advice columns give information on sex, information that once arrived at a home enclosed in a plain brown wrapper, if at all. And so we feel the moment has arrived to drop the sham, to dispense with the pretense, as it were. Though our public image all these years has been Mr. and Mrs. Square, in reality we've been Ma and Pa Kinky. Here's why. For the last 20 years we've been TV candlepin bowling freaks. That's right, candlepin bowling on television. There, the secret's out. What a load off my mind. I haven't felt so good since the 3rd grade when I admitted to Father Curran that I'd snitched some root beer barrels from Joe Giusetti's candy store. We watch every candlepin bowling show we can find on television, and it has to be candlepins. You can have those big-time Whispering Joe Smith 10-pin extravaganzas in which anybody who doesn't get 6 strikes in a row is locked in an icebox and dropped into the river. Venus de Milo could get a strike in 10-pin bowling. No, we watch only candlepins, where a strike is a work of art. Our addiction began in October of 1958 when Jim Britt, who also broadcast the Red Sox and Boston Braves games, had the bowling show that Don Gillis now MCs. Our kids were young then and always were after us to play horsey and other dumb games, such as getting dinner. But on Saturday noontime, Britt came on. That's when we tied the kids to the bedpost and gagged their little mouths so they wouldn't disturb our candlepin orgy. These days, the weekend is a smorgasbord. In addition to the Don Gillis show, colleague Bill O'Connell hosts Candlepin Super Bowl, a mixed doubles event. For 7 years, O'Connell was MC for a junior Candlepin TV competition. We watched that too, and its demise has left a void that Monday Night Football has never quite filled. Candlepin Super Bowl is shown on Saturday afternoon and 8 days later is rerun on Sunday night. We watch both the original and the rerun. Perhaps you think this odd, but we hold the show in the same high regard as a Beethoven symphony or a novel by Dostoevsky. One must experience an art form more than once to fully appreciate it. The same 1-2 candlepin punch occurs Sunday on Worcester's Channel 27 when Bob Foraker hosts the Bay State Classic. It could be that the use of classic in the title of a local bowling show is somewhat presumptuous, but if Robert Conrad, as captain of a tug-of-war team, gets high TV ratings, labeling Foraker's production as a classic is not overstepping semantic bounds. From time to time, we also watch, oh dare I say it, Bob Gamere's Candlepins for Cash. I never thought I would confess that to anyone, even Pope Paul. We've tried to kick the candlepin habit, of course. Several years ago, we went for weeks without watching, but like someone who gives up cigarettes only to compensate by eating 3 bags of jelly beans a day, we began watching such shows as My Mother the Car and Gilligan's Island as a substitute. Our physician said we'd perish of intellectual starvation in a year if we kept up that sort of thing. He advised us that candlepins were essential to our health and we ought to have a fix every weekend. You might wonder why TV candlepin bowling has such a hold on us. I can only answer, in that debonair way I have, que sera. Perhaps, like those who climb Mount Everest, we watch candlepin bowling simply because it's there. Suffice to say that while we admire John Havlicek, Bill Russell, Carl Yaz, Jim Rice, Bobby Orr, Sam Cunningham, and all the other athletic greats who have graced the local scene, they can't hold a candle, if you'll pardon the expression, to the flamboyant Rosario Lichiera and the phlegmatic Charlie Jutras, the flawless Stasia Cernicki, and the powerful Paul Bollett. We only ask that those of you able to resist the lure of Candlepin bowling on television not judge us too harshly. Remember us in your prayers, and keep in mind also the immortal words of Don Gillis. 3 marks in a row are worth $50.